Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
And we're back in the MMA drive-thru with your boy Taco Bell Wani, and we're bringing you some news that, I mean, it started to break a few days ago, you know, when this fight was just in the works, but now it is 100% official. Frankie Edgar will be making a quick comeback following his KO loss to Brian Ortega at UFC 222, I believe, and he's going to be making that quick comeback versus Cub Swanson, who was, you know, we didn't know what was going on with Cub Swanson because he was a free agent after his, so both of these guys lost to Brian Ortega last, right? Brian Ortega submitted Cub Swanson, got the Frankie Edgar fight, knocked out Frankie Edgar. So both of these guys are coming off of losses to Brian Ortega. Frankie Edgar, though, is coming off of a KO loss and not too long ago. I mean, Frankie Edgar just fought at UFC 222, right? And this fight's gonna be just a couple months after that, and we saw what happened with Michael Bisping. He got dropped and submitted by GSP, made a really quick turnaround versus Kelvin Gastelum, got knocked out in that fight. I mean, it's not advisable for somebody coming off of a KO loss to, you know, fight that quick. But the thing about this is it's UFC Atlantic City, Frankie Edgar's hometown. I'm sure before he fought Brian Ortega, he probably wanted to fight in Atlantic City, but the thing is, you know, he had the title fight on the line, and so now it's looking like, since he did lose to Brian Ortega, he's going to be able to fight in front of his home crowd, but you would just hope it wasn't that soon after a knockout loss. So still, with that being said, this is a rematch. Frankie Edgar did win the first fight, and Cub Swanson was on the MMA Hour today and said, listen, Frankie Edgar kicked my ass in the first fight. I haven't been doing nothing but wrestling since then. You know, whenever he kicked my ass, I realized I needed to get my wrestling up. So that's why I'm taking this fight, because I want to show, you know, I want to see how I can test myself against Frankie Edgar now. I'm not looking at Frankie Edgar as some guy whose chin is gone because he got knocked out one time, you know, and trying to take advantage of that. I'm looking at this as the best Frankie Edgar ever, and I want to get that back. So we're going to be seeing Cub Swanson versus Frankie Edgar 2 at UFC Atlantic City. I believe this is also the card with Kevin Lee and Edson Barboza, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a fucking hell of a card to be, if it's going to be free, which I'm pretty sure it is, Fox Sports 1. This is going to be a big card, man. Number 3 ranked Frankie Edgar versus number 4th ranked Cub Swanson. You got Kevin Lee, Barboza. There's other fights on that card. I just don't have it pulled up. But either way, not to mention Cub Swanson was a free agent, and he said cut the check. Cub Swanson said cut the check. On the MMA Hour today, he said, yo, I thought, you know, I'm glad I fielded the other offers, because after I lost, you know, before Cub Swanson lost, the UFC made him an offer, and it wasn't enough. So he was going to fight out his contract. Then he lost. So it's like, damn, you know, he made that gamble with this contract, so you would assume that he was going to take less money. It's like, nope, you know, the UFC still made me another offer after I lost, and it still wasn't enough. Nah, you know what I'm saying? He got a little bit more after that, so that was kind of dope. You know, he knew his worth as a fighter. These fighters are worth more than a lot of them might think it sometimes, especially with Bellator out there willing to pay guys like Cub Swanson. If the UFC doesn't want to pay you, guess what? Yeah, you might not get the star and the accolades of being in the UFC, but your family's going to be secure if you come fight over here and fuck with us at Bellator. So the UFC must have thought they had something in Cub Swanson. They saw the value in Cub Swanson, and they cut the check. So with that being said, we got Frankie Edgar versus Cub Swanson at UFC Atlantic City. Going to be a great fight. Going to be a great night of fights. It's a great time to be an MMA fan. And again, it's your boy Taco Bell Wani. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.